Hello there, my friend, and I'm not sure how you got here. It might be because you want this bad-ass sword, or maybe the SMG Spitfire. Or maybe this battle's really got you crispy and feeling a little bit like this. And either way, we're gonna make it through this together. If I can beat this boss, so can you. I'm Leon, and I'm gonna be your boss battle guide. Alrighty friends, welcome back, and I'm gonna start off by saying, if you are looking for the sword, you're gonna have to blow Singe's tail off during the fight. So if that's your goal, damage the tail and only the tail until it falls off like this. Otherwise, take the much easier route and just hit him in his weak spot the entire time, which is right here. He'll give you pretty good opportunities to shoot at it when he rears up and screams, so honestly, the number one method for beating this fight is just to keep moving to the side until he does that, well, removing adds until he does that, and then just pounding him, pound, right into that weak spot every time, and don't worry about damaging him any other time because you may very well run out of ammo. Also, don't forget to bring your ammo cans and some hydro coolant. Yeah, that's what it's called, hydro coolant. This is going to remove that burning damage over time. It also gives you a 30% resistance to it, so if you have the spare change, buy a lot of them and drink one beforehand before going in too, because that buff will last for 10 minutes and give you that extra resistance the entire fight. So things to keep in mind during this fight is that there's going to be fire everywhere, and that all of your cover is breakable by Singe. So he does have a gap closer that he'll use sometimes. He'll pounce on you and try to swipe at you. He has a 3-swipe combo, just like some of the other bosses, but it's pretty random when he'll close that gap. So when he does get up on you, just be prepared to dodge and then keep the distance that you need to. That's it for physical attacks. Aside from that, he has a lot of flame attacks, which number one being his fireball, which is very easily dodged just by sidestepping. If you're just moving sideways, you don't even need to be sprinting. It's going to very easily pass you, but it's going to ignite any of those oil patches that are in its way. You have to watch out for the oil patches so when you're running away that you don't run into them to take more damage. But the only other thing that this provides too is some cover for Singe as well. It makes it hard to see if other adds are coming if you're looking through the heat and where he might be and or his weak spot. But if you play this calm and cool, you're not going to have to worry about that too much because you're not going to explore much of the map. You're going to be trying to keep him in one spot at the right distance. We'll talk about that safe distance in just a second. The other skill I have to talk about, he will fly up into the air, you can see right here, and come slamming down, making this fiery line that will come shooting for you. You're not safe if you are behind any sort of cover for this. So this is something you have to be very aware of and be ready to dodge. Alright, now looping back to that safe distance, he has his flame breath, or I don't know what you want to call it, flamethrower, dragon's breath. He has that. And that's that safe distance you want to be at. You want to be at the very tail end of what the dragon breath will be. For me, this was pretty close to the effective range of whatever your secondary rifle is going to be, unless you have the shotgun, obviously. And right at that distance sits this little sweet spot where you'll be able to spend most of the fight and he shouldn't advance too much and do too many of his attacks other than the fireballs and the flame breath. And you can just dance back and forth between the fireballs, damaging him in between killing at. The last thing I have to say about the fight before I just roll the playthrough is that you want to do all of what I was just talking about somewhere pretty close to cover, so that if you're in a pretty oh shit kind of scenario, you need to reload, you need to heal, you need to have one of the whatever the fire extinguisher consumable is. Cover is going to allow you to do that pretty easily unless you have adds chasing you down. And it'll take a while for him to destroy all of the cover that you have around you, and when he does, hopefully you've already gotten off whatever consumable you need, maybe your heal, and you can be sprinting to the next place, and while you're sprinting, you're usually safe for most attacks as well. Then reset up in whatever corner where you found a good bit of cover, and just rinse and repeat these steps. Hope these tips were helpful. If they're not, maybe my playthrough will be, so you can watch what I was doing and see some of these things in action that I was talking about. Good luck, and enjoy playing Remnant. Alright. I hope some of this was helpful to you. I hope you will make it through this fight. I hope visually seeing it, my tips, maybe anything that you found here helped you. If it did, if you were able to go back and beat Singe after struggling, please then consider leaving a subscribe before you go, because if you found this helpful, I have no doubt I'm going to make something you'll find helpful in the future. That's what I'm here to do, is make helpful RPG build guides, informational videos, anything and everything that has to do with gaming in the RPG genre. I may occasionally shamelessly self-promote some of my music, but I try really hard to make that pretty dope too. So I truly hope you'll become a member of this community, and I will see you again soon.